Okay, we are live. Hey everyone, we're gonna work on environment now. I've been working on this for a while, streaming here and there the development process of this environment. I'm gonna show you just what it is and what it was, and hopefully after the streaming we can see some progress on our environment. So let's see. Skip play first. So the idea is that you have a dock and it's being invaded by some army. So you got the military camp there, you got some siege, you got a town in the back, and then you have the main element of this composition is the castle, which is being sieged. And if you're wondering when I got the assets, I use KitBash3D for those. So the first area is just the beach, like some dock. Ooh, what is this? I need to rotate this. And I still need to work on the collisions for this stuff. We'll do it little by little. Okay, so this is the military camp. And then there is the town at distance. Maybe I won't be able to go there with the character, otherwise I'm gonna like decorate everything. And then here you have like the trebuchets and some siege elements to get to the castle. And that's pretty much it. Pretty much it. So I'm going to show you how it was before, because I think it's very interesting to see the evolution of this thing. Go here. Yeah, so I think this was either the first day or the second day where I decided to take a screenshot, and I didn't plan to make this one to make this project like a long-term project. I didn't expect this to take that long, so I didn't record everything. So basically, just so you know, whenever you create an environment, just focus on what's the idea behind it and what will be your composition. So in my case, my composition was already established at the beginning. I have a dock area, I have a military camp area, I have a town on the back, and I have the castle, which is the main element. Okay, these elements were decided at the beginning, so even I add more things, I'm not changing the composition. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you check here, there is a line pointing 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 here. This shadow creates a line, so you go like this. So basically all the lines are pointing towards my main objective. Whenever you create an environment, make sure who's the main character here. Is it the castle? Is it the boat? Is it like the town or what is it? Okay, is it the castle? It's everything pointing towards my castle. It's everything pointing towards my main objective. And if it is, then you have a composition. That's as simple as it gets. Now there are some elements here. I will show you little by little the things that I add to support my composition better. So it's here play with some lights. Here I add more assets. Notice that I didn't change the composition, it's the same. Go. Here I add materials. As you can see, when you add materials, everything starts looking nicer. Here change the lining a little bit. And I think this one is the latest one. So there's a lot to cover. This is to showcase the Rock Master material, which is free. You can download from our website. You can get this material for free. So there's still a lot to work. So we're gonna tackle these problems little by little. By the way, if you got any questions, just let me know. Okay. So the way I like to work on my environments, it's I play my game, which I don't know why I'm lagging. Maybe because I'm streaming, I don't know. There you go, much better. And whenever I see something, like for example here, I think I need like more assets here. It's a little bit plain, or it's sculpt a little bit. And I do the same for all the parts, because every part has its own composition, its own storytelling. So you want to tackle those problems little by little. And this is why making environments can take so long and requires a lot of people, because it's just repetitive work. Now you can have some tools that make your life easier, but honestly, the tools also take time. So either you are learning how to make tools, either you have a project for the long term where you will benefit from those tools, and they also need to be maintained. So that's something to think about if you're looking for, you know, like to speed up your workflows, to use like procedural content, whatever. It's just a good idea to think about if you're gonna use it in the future. Otherwise, you're gonna spend all the time in the tool and you're not gonna finish the environment. So what I don't like about this at the moment, there are many things I want to change. One is the materials, and two is the flatness of the surface. So I'm just gonna sculpt a little bit here. And it's lagging because it's preparing the shaders. Okay, let's go. Yeah, the tool strength, I think it's okay. Change the layer here. Something like that. And again, reduce the size. You can even go for noise if you want. If you increase the strength, you will notice more. Yeah, noise will give you some irregularities that normally you wouldn't have. See, you can even increase the strength like a lot to see what's going on here. It's just random noise, and what you can do is use one of these textures to you can smooth it out. You can use the noise too. It's just small little details here. Or you can just point and click random surfaces until you have something irregular here. There you go. Talking about irregularities, let's just move this thing. For some reason, these tables are like this. I don't think it's normal. Anyway, let's just play it again to see. Let's just see to see if it makes any difference. Like for me, it does, but like you see, before we were like very flat, and now we have a little bit of bumps here and there to make everything clear. Now, whenever you want to create an environment, think about the objective. So if the objective is to go here, because you may be working on a game and it's not only a picture, it's actually something you need to move, play and go somewhere. You need to make sure the player goes here, and you do that by guiding the player little by little until he gets to the objective. So in my case, I need to guide him to go from here and then turn left. And let's just say this is the optimal way to go. Maybe you are doing an open world and you're adding some things, but usually you want the optimal way to reach there. And the way to do that is very easy. We just block the player. So for example, I have some rocks here. I can just either put this rock here, and with that, I can just make it like this so that it's bigger. I can do something like that, just to suggest that you need to go somewhere. You don't necessarily need to, block someone entirely. You just need to suggest. That's usually what you do in open worlds. I know that because I used to work for Ubisoft, and open worlds is something that it's their thing, right? So guiding the player is something really important. Let's see if we have some wood here we can use. Let's type wood. Let's go to the collection here. We have some wooden platforms. Okay, we don't really have wood here we can use. Not really. Let's see if we can go to cargo and type wood. Go to static mesh. And let's see, maybe we have some planks. Oh, look at that. This should be very, very interesting. I'll try to answer the questions whenever I can, so that usually there will come a point where I'm loading some stuff or things like that. In that case, I can answer your questions there, just so that I can have more time working on this, and also like optimizing the time, like something's loading, typical stuff, and well, if something is loading, then I cannot do anything. So well, let's see if we can create something with this. I've teached this technique so many times in whenever you're working on something, you can create patterns with these things and create new assets. I can go here. Let me just create a path that I can use. And I can just select all of those and make it bigger. And now I can just rotate around, remove some of them, maybe duplicate, rotate 180 degrees. The rotation is kind of funny here. $180. I just go like this. $180. And like that, I can just duplicate this. Make it bigger. And just like that, I can have an asset that I can use very easy. So I will just go ahead and select all of this. Right click. Let's go to level, create pack level actor. And let's go for mass wooden plank at 01 and save this here. And there you go. Now this is very strange why my material is like that. Anyway, okay, it's loading the shaders. So now I can just go back here and suggest the path for the player to go from one area to another. I can just go here. I can rotate 180 degrees to. If you ask why I don't use the snap tools, because whenever I'm working in natural environments such as this one, I want to make it look less CG, you know, less computer graphics. So the way you can do that is not using the snapping tools. That's a tip I got many years ago when I was studying in CG Masters Academy. I was studying creating world building in Unreal Engine. That was the course. Quite expensive, like $800, $1,000. I don't remember well. Anthony Vaccaro teach me a lot there. Like A lot of tips like this that I'm showing you now, I'm passing to you for free. You can apply to your own games. I will just create a path where I have this thing here. And because I'm gonna add more assets in the future, I don't really need to worry about the tiling, like, oh, you know, this asset you repeat many times, I can notice. Doesn't matter. That really doesn't matter, because I'm gonna put a barrel here, you will never notice what I just did. So the idea is to use as few assets as possible to create your environment. Make the most out of your environment with only one asset, for example, and then add more as you feel like you need. That's another tip. Like, if you want to create an environment, people think, oh, I need like 1,000 assets to start creating. That's not true. I mean, in fact, it makes life much easier if you only have one asset, and what you want to do is basically use high quality assets that you can reuse over and over again, like from different angles, put it in different positions, try to be creative with those. And then when you feel like you need to have some variation, then it may be a good time to think about other assets in your environment. I don't like the pivot point here, not that much. It's very important you get the pivot point right, otherwise it's just gonna be annoying. And especially like in productions, I remember when I was working at Ubisoft, there is a lot of assets there. And if you need to change the pivot point, you're gonna change the whole world. And it's a big thing, the changing the pivot point is. It's like you're gonna update the whole world. This asset is being used like 1,000 times. It means that you need to manually check all those 1,000 times that the asset has been used and move it just because you changed the pivot point. Let's do a couple more here. Now let's try to play our environments. Okay, so I kind of get the suggestion that I need to go this way. It's working. For me, I feel like it's working. Now I can go here and I don't want to. So maybe I can put some walls here. Let's see if we can find something. Oh, there is a fence here. Probably we can use this. You're wondering like what kind of asset I'm using. I'm using KitBash3D. I'm using Cargo. They have like a subscription you can get, and you get all the assets. Not that cheap, but I feel it's okay. It's good. Especially if you're gonna use it a lot, There you go. That can work. And also here, maybe we want to put something here. Let's see. Wait, where is it? Ballista? Do we have a ballista here? We don't have it. I'm gonna put it now. Actually, we can kind of put it here, right? But I don't know if you're gonna see it anyway. Yeah, I don't know if you will see it there. Oh, they already have them here. Comes with some presets. Look at that. That point of view. And whenever you feel like this is like too obvious, like you can always break it. Like you add things, and if it's too obvious, you break it. So that's something you need to consider. And now here I can just paint. We'll paint on my layer 0. Let's see if the layers are working just fine. Yeah, I can just paint like this. Because I'm using the height, you will see that the sand goes behind those rocks. It's very nice. Very nice. I have two types of sand, so I can just blend those two. And here I can just add some rocks here and there. Making environments can take a long time. Like if I want to finish this, I will need to work on it every day for... I think I will say a month at least if I want to have something worthy of showing. Because I haven't shown you anything like outstanding yet. Because teaching, like the focus of on the tutorial, it's on teaching, you know. It's not showing off my skills. It's about you learn something. And a lot of the times I need to sacrifice the quality of the outcome of the tutorial just because it's gonna get shorter if I don't, or maybe the information I already give you is enough. Otherwise, it's gonna be too overwhelming. So it's a really fine line between it's a fine line between adding more things to your tutorial and also stopping when you want to stop. And you get a lot of presets here that you can use. Like for example, this one's here. It's very nice. So you can add things like this, for example, just to break things up. You can actually put this thing here. That also works. maybe here. Now the thing with environments is they take so long that one day it looks ugly and the other day it just looks really good. So just keep that in mind when you... Oh, I already have a preset here. Let me see how it looks like. Much better, I think. So let's remove those. And like if I put the stairs, I don't know if this is stairs or a chair. Looks like a chair. Okay, let me go for check some questions here. Will I post this on YouTube? I don't know. Let's see. Most likely yes. I don't know if there is enough people interested on this. If there is a certain number of people that are watching this, I may keep it. Because I want to make the live streams more unique. Like, if you miss it, you miss it. Next time you have next time you can check, like you can check something different in the live. But let's see. If you share this enough times, maybe I consider keeping it. Oh, the blowing sail? No, not really. I haven't been working on this. Most likely, I will just remove this. And I'm still not fully convinced on putting this ship here. That's why I haven't put the blowing sail yet. But I haven't been working on this. Is it environment or it involves some level design stuff? Actually, I want to do both. I don't like making environments just for the sake of making those. I like when I can actually play. So maybe I will put this as something you can download and play. So in that case, I will need to make some level design in it. And the things I've been teaching you, it's both level design and environment art. They go hand to hand. Because I mean, that has been my specialty for many years. I never worked on movies. I never worked on you know, I always been working in games. So it's just my experience is in games, so I always do that. I don't like to do cinematics and this kind of stuff. It's not my thing. So every time I create something, must be for some kind of game. How many times was so cool to do this environment? I'm not sure what you mean by that. If how long I've been working on it? Many months, but at the same time, not a lot, because I haven't been working on it every day. Just one day a week or 2 or 3, whenever I feel like working on it. But now I feel like I want to finish it to move on to another project and also share with you the overall learning experience after I finish it. How do you do the design process for the map? Is it always spontaneous, or you are drafting things up and like plan it? and what is your planning so people feel it when they walk it. Like, I had an idea of what I wanted to create, and at the beginning I just lay out my composition and I lock it like that, and I decide this is gonna be it, and that's how it's gonna be from now on. So after I do that, I commit to that idea. I just need to add details into it, but I change things as I continue. Like, when I add more things here, I will think of some things that I can put here. For example, here I can put some nice mountains or something, maybe. So I will come up with those ideas eventually. It's not like I have a plan and then I execute the plan, like I do it on paper and then, you know, it's set and done. Not like that. The models are from KitBash3D. I used Cargo, which is their software to link with. You can go here to window. I think it was around here. I don't remember. Yeah, it was Windows Cargo, but I don't have the plugin right now because it was for 5.1 and I'm using 5.2. You can just link KitBash3D assets to Unreal Engine. And those are all assets from KitBash3D. I don't really want to model. I already modeled a lot before. So I just want to create something. That's what I recommend most people. Of course, if you want to model something, do it. Like, if you want to go for some sculpting journey where you learn how to model things, go ahead. Like, I already did that for many years and I don't feel like doing it right now. That's why I'm using those. And like I said, I feel much better if I'm creating something like an experience, not just an image. So making the asset can take a long time too. When you rotate a side scroller character who's stuck to some player, for example, why do you rotate the whole environment? I don't recommend you to rotate the whole environment, just the camera. Like, I remember we joke when making games like, oh man, like the whole environment is facing like the sun in another position here. And so we either change the sun direction or we rotate the whole world. And it's like joking, okay, let's just rotate the whole world. What's your opinion about Unreal Engine 5 competing with the Rockstar Rage engine? I don't think they're really competing, not directly. Unreal Engine has a different business model and it already has a lot of clients with big companies who are using Unreal Engine to create games. There are a number of reasons why a company will want to have their own engine. One, they have control over it, absolute control. And maybe they are doing a specific type of game. Like, for example, in Ubisoft, they have the Anvil, which is very powerful engine, actually. I'm not really sure. I dare not to say it's more powerful than Unreal Engine because it's been many years and Unreal Engine has evolved a lot. They are not exactly the best user-friendly engines, like the interface and all these things, but they're very powerful. And the reason they do that is because they do a lot of Assassin's Creed games and they make the engine to fit their game design. It's like they only add the things they will use in the game. Like if they don't have vehicles and this kind of stuff, then the engine doesn't support it, and you don't need to add those. Whereas Unreal is more generic. It's more like you can create whatever. It's not like it's specializing anything, but it will give you all the tools to create whatever you want. You can look at it that way. So, and the other reason why they wouldn't use Unreal Engine is because they share royalties. And for big titles, royalties can mean huge amount of money. So you need to decide, because you also need to pay people to create your engine. There are a lot of engine programmers out there who are really good, and they will cost you. So you need to decide if you want to create your own engine, which for indie developers it's a must. No, it's a no for sure. You don't create your own engine. But for big companies, they can make this kind of decisions if they have the budget and if they decide it's worth to have their own engine. So to answer your question, I don't think they are competing in any way. They're just different solutions. I haven't seen any news on Unreal Engine changing their business model. But I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, last question. How do you know the basics of VFX design, particle systems, and stuff like that? We do have a tutorial for that. I'm gonna put a link there, okay? Actually, yeah, it is out. It's out, so here you can check VFX if you want to learn from scratch. So take a look at that. Okay, let's continue. Things that bother me here, it's this empty space here. Easy solution. Like I have this space here, but this is my main area. Of course, I can leave some space for the character to explore, but it feels a little bit empty. So I'm just gonna put some assets. Let me see which assets I have here. I have enough. Let's see this one. I don't want this one. We're already using this one a lot. Yeah, we could gather those. I want to see if I have a. Yeah, not this one. I think we're just gonna use this one. And later on we can put more small assets here. I'm not gonna go for the classic like scatter everything with the foliage just yet. I'm gonna wait a little bit. And I'm gonna block this area. I'm gonna block this area. You said that you shouldn't go here. And also maybe I can use this asset. it will also help to fill the empty space and also guide the player where you need to go here. That's where you need to go. So avoid things like this where you can just get into these two assets and not get anywhere. Easy solution for that, you can just grab an asset here. Let me see, not this one. I can just duplicate this one and I can just do something like this, and there you go. Now you block the way. Now here it's a little bit empty. Maybe in the future I will put more rocks here and there. I'm not sure yet. And maybe in the future we will use virtual textures. It will help a lot. Now let me see, what do we have here? What is this? Tower, yes. Yes. Now the problem with this tower here is that it will block the viewer, so maybe I can put it here. Guys, here is another lesson. This is a blocker. Whenever your eye goes like this, it encounters this wall here. And it's like a ping pong, like your eye goes here and I need to go somewhere else. And there is another line here. Naturally, we'll look here. So if you remove this, your eye in your composition, you're looking at this. What's in here? And there's nothing. So usually you could go very different ways. You can put a mountain here, like a mountain, and now your eye will come here, and then you will do the ping pong effect and go back to where you were, to the main focal point. So for now we will have it. Notice that every asset I put is not just to put assets, it's to support the composition. This is art fundamentals. If you want to learn how to create better environments, I'm telling you, it's not inside Unreal Engine. It's gonna be painting. Maybe sculpting for some people, but even when you sculpt, you want to learn how to paint. Well, later on, we will fill this space with rocks. We're only focusing in this area. Like when we finish this area, then we gonna take a look at something else. I'll put this rock here so that the player doesn't go here. There you go. Perfect. And now technically he can, because I don't have collisions, but I'm gonna deal with those later. And okay, I found the reason why I'm lagging. It's because I'm using complex collision as simple. And that's not what you want. You want to use a box collision. We're gonna put it nice in nice spot here. There you go. A little bit up. And let's see who else is using complex collision. This one is not using complex collision. And now, of course, with nanite, I don't have the collision here. Or I do. They fix it. Oh yeah, they fix it. This one also complex collision. You don't want that. Avoid any complex collision whenever you can. See where is we have some complex collision. Flywire claim or claim. Oh, here we have. Here we have. Never use this unless it's like a must. Like here I'm gonna have some problems because I have this mesh. And it's gonna be like collision, like a triangle. If it's, let's see. Actually, very good job. I'm surprised. Before it wasn't like this. Before, you know what convex collision means? I'm gonna do an envelope, so I'm gonna do something like this. But look at that. Now, these are the updates that they don't tell you they changed, but they did. These are the important stuff. Under the hood stuff. So now that I did that, maybe my environment won't lag anymore. It does, because I have a lot of translucency here. Until I reach this area, and it's fine. I'd say it's much better. I won't really bother with this area that's like very flat. Go here and then I reach this area. It's like I need a collision here, but I could give the player two choices, like to go this way or that way. We will see. We will see, but now we're gonna focus on this area, so let's start by painting something. Start by painting here. Now, this master material for the landscape, I'm gonna share in the future. As I continue to add more stuff. Not finished yet, I guess. As I continue to add more stuff, I will share it. What I have shared is the material for the rocks. If you see the rocks have a material like this, and you see them from distance, you don't see the tiling. It's really nice. And you also save a lot of memory because you're reusing the textures. And all your rocks look the same. That's why I'm using different assets, but because they have the same material, because they have the same material, I don't really notice they're the same. Go here for some sand. And then some rock here and there. But the rock color maybe I will change in the future. blend it better with my environment. If you go this area, then I need to decorate this area. That's the problem. Oh, we're gonna take our time with this one. It happens with time where you're working on something and you just get bored. That's normal, by the way. That's very normal. Now, if you have enough materials in your landscape, you can just paint, and without adding any asset, you're just gonna make your environment look better. That's the reality of things, is that sometimes your landscape doesn't look good. It's because you haven't paint on it. It's just manual stuff, but you know, it works. It's like, oh, my landscape is styling. Maybe it's because you're using one texture. If you put two, it's gonna be, the tiling is gonna be less evident here. Now, I plan to use that sand only for the beach area, but looks like I'm gonna need either I paint sand, or I'm gonna use more, or I'm gonna add another texture for the ground texture here and there. Well, let's see. Let's play. Okay, I'm gonna go here. Oh, now this area looks better after I painted. Much better. It's a little bit reflective. And the reason is I increased the reflection because it was going to be used near the ocean. So maybe I will change it later. But this area needs some love. I don't know if I have another material here. You have a lot. I don't know if I have like a ground. I don't think so. Okay. So here we need more rocks. Let's add some rocks here and then I will go to the comments again. Again, I'm gonna use only one asset, and I'm gonna use it as much as I can. I'm not sure if I want the player to go here. to this area. We will see. And these assets, like scatter rocks, are really good for blending. You don't really want to end like this. You can just, I mean, I already use it, but looks like I need a little bit more of a breakup here. Like you have this line, like you can break it a little bit to do something like this. You saw that it's not a straight line. So what I can do is crop something like this, and very easily I can just go ahead and put something like that. And just like that, I already break the and I can put the same thing here. And because it's using the same textures, it's gonna blend nicely with the other asset. I'm gonna do the same here. So I need a little bit of love here. And also in this area. And also I can use this asset. So it's quite good. Will help us all along the way to reach the castle. I'm gonna do it again. You're gonna be very patient with this. Like this is the kind of thing that you're just gonna have patience. Yeah, something like that. And if you want to block this, very easy. Like for now, we will put this, but I'll put another asset if I wanted. I don't want a player to go there for now. Maybe I change my mind later. And I can put maybe this. And with that, I can fix the landscape here. I can sculpt. You saw that I have everything on the same level. Why cannot scope on this? Okay, you can put something like that. And then you can smooth things out. We can put it in this layer. Not sure why it's not. Maybe it has to do with the water layer. Now, as you work on your project, you will see that you recognize the assets easier, especially if you've been working there for years, like big projects. You will just remember every asset. It's funny because now when I play Assassin's Creed games, I can tell like which asset they use in their project, because it's like, hey, I use this one, I know this texture. Just you can use textures across different projects as long as you keep the same identity for your project, and maybe you change it a little bit, or maybe you don't need to change it at all. Like, how many rock textures do you need? You don't need a new rock texture every project you make. You just use the same one, right? I can actually put this one and forget about those. I'm gonna do that. There you go. Perfect. Let's put a little bit more rocks and let's try it again. If I feel like I need another asset, I will just search for one, but like I said, try to use the same asset as much as possible, and if you need to change it, then change it, but do not do it like right away. Okay, let's go. Okay. Like this thing, I should move it. Oh, this area looks much better, in my opinion. This is looking much better. Oh my god, the rotation of this asset is just... it's a mess. It's really a mess. I don't like it. Okay. Let's see. Name of the screen pen making tool? It's called Light Shot. It's for taking screenshots, but also comes with some handy tools to write on top of it. It's Light Shot. A lot of people ask that question actually. How can we package the game with high quality? I didn't know there was a way to package the game with low quality. I guess success, what you mean is successfully packaging a game, because packaging can fail sometimes. There's a lot of tutorials on that actually. You can take a look at how to package a game. There are many ways. We have a lot of that too. What lessons on composition in drawing, for example, could you recommend? The best place I recommend is New Masters Academy. Let me show you. It's a course in New Masters Academy by Bill Perkins. He was, I think he was a director on Disney. Best course on composition I've ever taken. Hands down, it's the best. I'm gonna share it with you soon. If it loads. But yeah, look for Bill Perkins composition for artist. How do you know what model sizes to work with? First, you drop in the character and scale things compared to that, or what? Yeah, for sure you need a character to have the, you know, the size comparison. But scale is something you can fake, and scale is something we fake a lot in games. So for example, if I put a tree here and then I have a mountain in the background and you see the same tree, I can scale that tree a little bit less, and you will think that the mountain is bigger than what it should be, just because you're relating this size of the tree with the same tree that is in the background. So size is something that you should master when making games, because you need to sell the scale and you don't have infinite space in games to work with. And you know, like, oh, there is a mountain 1,000 kilometers away. In real life you will never see it, but in games you can actually put it closer and make the player feel like that this mountain is actually bigger than what it should be, right? So that's one thing. Okay, let me just have a little break. How long we've been working on this? 1 hour or something? Yeah, usually around 1 hour. I already start feeling like I don't make the best choices. So just gonna see. Let me just take a screenshot to see just how it looks like. But the problem is I haven't been taking a screenshot from all the places. But it's a good idea, like when you want to make some progress here and there, you can just take screenshots and compare to the last screenshot to see if there was any progress here. Well, let's see. This was before today. Well, actually, this was today. And this was before. Well, the lining doesn't help either, but I think I need another shot because I've been these days, well, not these days, but when I worked on this, I've been focusing on the bigger picture first, like creating this kind of thing, and this, you know, the overall composition for this. It's the first time I go into this project and do a set dressing like this. Now here is another tip for you guys. Do not put the assets like this where you have this space, because the player will think he can go there and maybe he cannot. So you need to make things really clear. If something is blocking something, just put it like this. But if you put it here, or maybe a little bit more, the player will think he can go here and he cannot. So same thing when putting walls or something. If the player feels like he can jump there, he should. If he cannot, there is a design problem in your level. Check out. To be honest, I don't really see the boats that much. What I'm gonna do in the next sections, I'm gonna add more rocks here and there, just to lay down the background. It's a little bit empty, so I think it's time to. We can also try some interesting shapes for this. So we're gonna do that, and yeah, let's see. Because after 1 hour and a half, usually I go out and walk and then come back and then continue like forever. But I think I already showed you a lot of things this stream. Let's do it some other day where I can just show you how I go about fixing this area, making it look better. But right now, this area, I feel it's okay. It's not bad. We can move on to the next area, which it's this one. And we will do it little by little, and eventually we will decorate all the environment. Okay, last questions before we wrap this up. What assets did you use? I use KitBash3D. Many packages, but actually I use Cargo to, like a subscription, you can get all these assets. They're not like game ready, you know. You still need to do something if you want to use them, but for me it works just fine for now. And if I want a collision, I will just show you very easily how I will do a collision here. I will just go to modeling, go to poly extrude. I don't want to enable snapping. And I will just go here and I will just close this like this. There you go. That's my collision. I'm gonna hit complete. I'm gonna make it bigger. And I think, where is the convert option here? Yeah, mesh to volume. Which kind of volume? I want this blocking volume. Click accept. There you go. Now we have a blocking volume here. And I didn't add any collision to the individual assets. And of course I can be more. You see? I cannot go there. And I can be more precise. Like here I messed up. I just do it very quickly. But I cannot go here, right? Now obviously you don't want something like this where you walk and you cannot cross, like invisible volume. You want to put some assets here. But in this case, where the collisions are too complex, can be a good idea to use a blocking volume here to fix this. And I'm just gonna delete this. I'm not sure if I can convert it back. Yeah, like volume to mesh. Yeah, I can convert it back, and I think I can just model again. Like go to poly edit and move those things here. You know, make it more obvious. I can fine-tune these things. I bet you didn't know this trick. And this is where like and you can block volume mesh, convert to blocking volume, accept, and there you go. Now you don't need to add collision to everything. And this kind of volume is mostly for safe areas, like you want to put it like here, for example, just in case the player goes out, you can use this. Very, very powerful stuff if you use the modeling tools. You don't need to like export the map. We used to do that before in like in Unreal 3 and Unreal 4, where we don't have the modeling tools. Export the map, like the whole level, and then create a collision, and then export the collision again, put it in the map, check the pivot point if it's right, and now it's just much easier. I can do the same for this, and all the areas that I don't want the player to go, I can just create a collision like this. And I don't need to create like, you know, individual collisions for each asset if the player is not supposed to go there. If it's supposed to go there, then I will need to be more specific. I can use some collisions for each asset, but if it's not, I don't really need it. Okay. Time to wrap up. Thank you everyone for coming. I will see you in the next one. If you are new to the channel, make sure to check the tutorials we have. We have a lot. if you want to learn how to create games, we have the Quest website. I'm gonna share it with you. And of course, if you want to learn more, you want to make this as a career, or maybe you want to create your own game and make a living out of this, or maybe just you just want to spend more time in game development, we have the action game course. It's we just released a new module. I put the discount code. You will be able to see it if you are in the live stream. And we just got a new module where we're adding modules as we work on the project. We're about to finish it, so make sure to check it out. It's quite a nice course. It's not cheap, but I guarantee you it's really good. It's really good. One last question before we wrap it up. Hello, my name is Jessica. How are you? Could you please tell what's the best way to keep the frame rates good on meshes that can be nanite, such as skeletal? Well, skeletal meshes now can be nanite. Everything can be nanite actually now. But if you want to optimize things, translucency, it's one thing to keep in mind. Things like grass and this kind of translucent surfaces where you need to overlay on top of each other. Like if you check the nanite, you can see the overdraw. You can see there is a lot of overdraw here, but overall I think it's fine. As you get closer with the camera, you will see that you don't have much overdraw. So overdraw is a big thing. That's why I only put a few assets if possible. And check the material complexity. The material complexity can be quite heavy. I don't put the triangles mode because I mean you can optimize it and this kind of stuff. But for example, this landscape is not super cheap, but it's not really that bad. Not really that bad. And the reason is this color is because we're using a lot of textures here. So if we use less textures, it will be like kind of darker green. Try not to put everything white. That's my advice. And you should be good to go. There are other things like hierarchical LODs, grouping instances and so on, or the word partition, but it's a lot. Yeah, I think nanite for skeleton, I'm not entirely sure if you can put it, but anyway, for skeletal meshes, try to not put as many triangles, because obviously, if it's a skeletal, it needs to move, right? So if you're animating something, don't put too many triangles. But now you can have a lot with characters. I will say average 100,000 to have a really nice character. More than that, I don't recommend it. If it's like a simulation or fluids or something, you can export the Alembic files, which is exactly for this thing, because you can have like complex simulations with a lot of triangles. It's not a skeletal mesh, but it can play the animation, and it won't have the physical properties or collision, but you can put more complex things there. But for skeletal meshes, it's just don't put as many triangles. Especially if you're gonna have a lot. Like for example, I put 100 skeletal meshes here, or people running or whatever. Maybe I need to optimize the triangle count for those, because if I optimize even like 100 triangles, multiply by 100 times is 10,000 triangles I save, and that's only 100 triangles. if you optimize 1000 triangles for 100 enemies that I have there, skeletal meshes, you are saving 100,000 triangles. That's a considerable amount of triangles. So keep in mind the scale of the things. If it's only one character, I think you can go pretty crazy with it. But if it's many, every optimization counts for the triangles. And especially with opacity and the complexity of the materials, how many materials they have, it will scale exponentially depending on how many skeletal meshes you are putting as instances on your level. Oh, that's great. Pirates. Oh, best of luck with that. I work on a pirate game for many years at Ubisoft. It's called Skull and Bones. I think it's now in closed beta. I think the game is good. Let's see how they handle, how Ubisoft managed to handle the release of the game. It took a long time to make, but basically I was immersed with piracy for many years. Like, immersed a lot. It's not really my thing, but I see a lot of people really like it. And that's how I also got inspired in doing this environment, and also because I'm playing a lot of Age of Empires and wanted to do some siege stuff. I got a lot of ideas. But yeah, I don't know when Skull and Bones is gonna release. I have no idea. I don't work at Ubisoft anymore. They are in closed beta, so if everything goes fine, I will say in the next months. Ubisoft owns their own engine. They don't use Unreal. I think they have used Unreal in the past, but I'm not sure. Like, for example, some Splinter Cell games, they use Unreal Engine, but I don't know what is the reason they stopped using it. But before I left, I think they were exclusively using Anvil, which is their engine. Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming. If you enjoy this series, let me know in the comments, and I will stream again the creation of this environment. Hopefully, after I finish it, you will have a lot of information you can put together, and as always, keep learning, keep improving, and I'll try to do the best I can to share with you my thought process on how to create those things. Okay. Thanks, everybody. I will see you in the next one.